to make a quick video today about the topic of getting out of your head. I thought about it after I passed my motorcycle exam yesterday. The safety course that allows you to bypass the DMV process of, you get the waiver so you don't have to go through their whole scenarios they got going there. So anyway, the beginning of day two is a little bit more tricky. You're doing tight maneuvers in tight spaces at slow speed using friction zone and all this stuff, and it can be anxiety inducing because for me, I don't have any real motorcycle experience, so it's the second time I've even gotten ridden, and you have to balance. There's a lot of things you have to do, so we have a tendency to mess up something and then ruminate on that. And what that does is remove you from the present moment, all but ensuring that every subsequent thing that you are confronted with is not going to be successful either, because you've robbed yourself of the necessary cognitive faculties that are required to successfully complete whatever task is in front of you. And this is a trick of your lower self, and we get into this habit of getting in our heads and overthinking and overanalyzing, but especially when you're riding a motorcycle, most of it is feel, and you just have to surrender yourself to the present moment and have confidence in yourself and faith, and know that you are capable of doing it if you get out of your own way and stop overcomplicating things by thinking about them to death and dwelling on your past mistakes, because that's a perfect example of where you have to let things go right then and there, because what is required of you next needs a full focus and concentration and confidence and faith and a certain level of courage in this sort of thing. And if you're stuck in what you did previously, you're not available mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually to properly present yourself to what it is that's presenting itself to you. And it's very difficult, especially when you entertain these ways of being for so long and you've incorporated them deep into your psyche and they become your default. And so now, when you're confronted with something that cannot, the two cannot mesh together, it's either one or the other. Now you have to choose in that moment right away to let these things go and to be of a calm and detached and empty nature in that regard, so that you can properly meet what you have to meet. And these things require practice, and so when you need it at the drop of a hat, it might not be there, or you might not be able to tap into it right away because you fostered the other thing. You fostered all of the vice and not the virtue. So I saw for myself when I kept talking to myself and using auto-suggestion and positive affirmations and things, and got out of my head, it was like I reset, and then I was able to hear myself think and feel what I needed to feel and observe what I needed to observe, and I got with the program, and I stopped getting so anxious and making so many mistakes. And the only thing that I messed up on that skills test was I bumped into one cone, and there's 5 skills that you're tested on, and I did all of them well. I just bumped into one cone, and I did have to, they gave me a second chance on one of the skills because my speed wasn't high enough. That was the only thing. So when you're going from a stop, you have to let that clutch out like a car, except it's different because now you have to balance, but you have a tendency to be hesitant and want to go slow as you can, and otherwise you go too fast and you pop the clutch and you jerk. but you have to find that sweet spot. So the second time, I just let it go, man. I just let the clutch out, hit that throttle smooth, sped up to about 25 miles an hour, and then stopped, emergency stop, and it was good. But the point I want to make is that all of the morning long I was in my own way because I was overthinking and I was trapped in my own head. And a lot of times, thinking about things and being in your head is a good thing, but more often than not, it's where you go to die, in a sense, that where you go to diminish yourself and to die in the comfort zone and to not venture out of your comfort zone and to ruminate on past mistakes and perceived shortcomings that are in the past and that you were only supposed to extract the lessons from, but you don't extract the lessons, you just extract the shame and the guilt and the regret and the all of the vice, none of the virtue. So that's just an example, and we have to practice and try in that sense to get out of our heads and allow our true selves and our higher selves to be heard and to be felt and to present themselves truly to the world. And so that's what I want to say in this video. Leave your comments, your suggestions, your feedback, anything you might want my perspective on, any advice, if I could lend some words in that regard, I'd be happy to do that. And check out my other channel, Ray Rivera. I do music and art. Subscribe to this channel, that channel, I appreciate that. And keep in mind the name of this channel, It Never Was About You. And I made a video on that as well, about our suffering and things of that nature. So thanks for watching.